Hello. Like 30 seconds early, but I wanted to go on. Oh, it is 12 o'clock now. Whoop whoop. So this is our Tuesday live, last day of January. It's January 31st, 2023. Ooh la la, this month has gone by so fast. I'm gonna give it a few minutes for everyone to hop on the live today's, and then we can go ahead and get started. And while we wait, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments, let me know where you're joining us from, if you're participating in the quilt along or just joining us for the first time just to check it out and see what it's all about. That's all a-okay too. And so we have participants joining from both my Facebook page and YouTube, so whatever your preference is. I actually put the links in the description now. I should have thought of doing that sooner, but it's done. So you can join me from either site, whichever is your preference. And I see, oh, Julie's here. Hello, Julie. And if you're joining us from Facebook, you won't see the YouTube participants. And if you're joining us from YouTube, you won't see the Facebook participants. But I can share the comments, and you'll see that Julie's joining us from YouTube, and you see the little YouTube logo in the comment there too. Oh, and Tony's from YouTube too. Hello. How are you all doing? I'm just gonna check Facebook real quick, make sure everyone's finding their way okay. I sent out a little reminder email real quick, announcement, but I'm not sure if everybody got it. Let's see. See a few comments here. Dun dun dun. Let's see. Oh, okay. Oh, Shani's at work. We will see you on the replay, Shani. Have a nice day at work. And Zaza, Zaza, we're live now. I hope you can find us. Oh, she realized she's early. Zaza, let me know if you're joining me from Facebook or YouTube. So, and then we have, oh, Kelly Grace, hello, from YouTube too. Awesome. And we have Lisa from South Dakota. Oh, your first time catching the live. Hello, so glad you made it. And then we have Charlotte here. Hello, Charlotte. Oh, it's freezing. What's going on with Texas? You guys are getting snow, huh? It's crazy weather. Oh, Kathy's here. Hello, Kathy. And 6 weeks in Florida and then back to the frigid north. Oh, enjoy the warmth while you can. Oh, hi, Lori. Wait, everybody's on Facebook today. Oh, Ellen is from Texas. She's on Facebook. Hello, Ellen. And then we have Robin's also here. Ta-da. Awesome sauce. I hope you have your blocks with you today. If you have some the hexagon diamonds made, that way you can sew along with me, or you can do it after watching too. Or you might have even got started. I think some of you have got a head start already, which is fine too. If you're experienced EPP or you're just doing it for fun, then by all means go ahead and work ahead of schedule. No problem. But if you're new, make sure to kind of hold back and sew along with us so that you can utilize all the tips and tricks that I'll be sharing with you as well. Let's see, let me now go to my Facebook page and let's see if everybody is okay there. So I'm assuming you can hear me already. Otherwise I would have heard something in the seen something in the comments, right? Yes, Lori, you're on YouTube. Love it. Oh, it's mostly freezing rain. Wow, Charlotte. Ooh, that's still cold. Hope you're staying indoors and enjoying the warmth of your home. Let's see. Okay, I'm showing up on Facebook. Very good. All is well. Technology is working today. Makes me very happy. All right. Starlin made it. Starlin, long time no see. Hello. Oh, you're on YouTube too. Awesome sauce. Okay. Oh, Starlin, I've seen you've been making all the little itsy bitsy tiny little hexagon diamonds, right? They're so cute. So pretty. Are you gonna make a big project? Is that what you're planning on? I'm looking at the comments. If I look like I'm not looking at you, I'm trying to read the comments and look at the same time. I want to know how many you're planning on making. If you guys haven't seen, also in the description of this video, there's a link to the Facebook group, the EPP Society, which is facebook.com/groups/English paper piecing, and that way you'll end up in our Facebook group where we are all sharing our hexagon diamond blocks. I thought I had enough coffee today, but nothing's coming out straight. But we're making do, right? Okay, so today we're gonna be making actually sewing some of our blocks together, so I can give you some trip tips and tricks to make it easier. So I chose just one of my low volume background hexagon diamond blocks, and my first one I'm gonna start with the red. So I'm actually going by, let me switch to the overhead view so you guys can see what I'm talking about. There we go. So these are the two I'll be sewing together today, and I'm following the overall layout of my coloring page here. And if you joined the sew along, you should have gotten access to the hexagon diamond quilt along on my website, where you can log in and download the coloring page and all the hexagon sizes too, in lots of different sizes, where you can just print and cut from home if you're just trying out EPP for the first time. That way you can kind of get a feel for it, see if you like it, and if you don't, then you don't have too much invested in it, right? But I think once you try EPP, you're kind of hooked for life. So it is addicting. Warning, okay? So I'm gonna start with my background here. So this is gonna represent this hexagon diamond right there. And then I'm gonna do my red one. And then if we look right here, we'll see that the two low volumes are gonna connect up top, right? Like so. So if I take another low volume block, let's see. Just pick a random one. So they should be connecting right there. If I follow my diagram, like so, see how they connect right there? And then my red one will come in between. Yes? Is everybody following along? Yes. I'm gonna give it a minute. Waiting for comments. I think everyone's following along so far. Okay, so it's pretty straightforward, right? So I want my two low volume, or the background hexagon diamonds, to connect up top, and then my red one's gonna go in between. Okay, if I don't see any questions, I'm just gonna keep on going, because I assume everybody's okay. Yes, everybody's okay. Keep on going. Okay. So I'm doing 1 inch hexagons for my hexagon diamonds. Starlin, you were doing 3/8 of an inch, right? I'm filling it in with more low volume, Starlin. So up here, it's gonna be all low volume too. But I haven't made half blocks yet. I've only made full diamond hexagon diamond blocks. So I'll be making the half blocks just to fill it in on top. So these might be, right now I haven't decided. They might be same low volume, or I might do like a natural, like linen-y color low volume print. But I don't know if I have enough, or if I'll just do a single color to be the background half diamonds. Salsa's here. Hello, you found us. And Catherine's here. Hello. And Melissa's here. Yay. Ooh, whoops. Comments moved. Yay. Hello. Okay, all right, so let's keep on going. And I know there was a lot of folks new to EPP inside the society. They were asking, when do you remove the papers, right? I've actually pressed all my blocks. After I make a block or a few, I make sure to press them. So that's why they are nice and flat like this. I like to press them because that sets the seam allowance, the creases on the seam allowance. It's nice and crisp. Plus your blocks turn out much flatter, and you can play with them laying out like so, right? Versus if you just try to do it after you've made one, it might be a little buckly because you've been bending the papers back and forth as you're sewing it together. So give it a good press, and that way if your papers do pop out by themselves too, then it's still looking okay, because it still has the crease marks that are set from you pressing it. Okay. And then I use my pick-me-up to remove the papers. This is a silhouette cameo tool, and it comes out, and then you have like a little stylus like tip here. And this tip is more like a cuticle pusher. So if you have those wooden cuticle pushers too, they work as well, fine as well. I like this plastic one because I can switch it out the end, and then it's nice to hold on to. And as far as removing the papers, Preferably, I like to keep my papers in as long as I can because it just keeps the shape nicely that way. And for small pieces, this one is a 1/2 inch hexagon block. It's much easier to maneuver, right? It's not as bulky, but now that we go into the 1 inch, it's a much bigger size that you need to kind of manhandle as you're sewing it together, right? So it might become a little cumbersome and straining on your hands as you're trying to like hold it together. But we can do one where I'll just leave all the papers in for now, and you can see I'll start on one edge. So I want to make sure I don't start up top here, because remember on the coloring page I wanted my background hexagon diamonds to join at the top and the colored one to fit in between. And for those of you that joined us later, this is what I'm doing here. So I'm doing my red one to background, and I was saying that the two background low volume hexagon diamonds, they connect up top above the red one. So that's what I'm doing. So I want to make sure I don't make a mistake now and watch be like, oh, I need my seam ripper. So I don't know if there's an up or down on my background ones. It's a text, so I'll keep it up and oh, see, they're in the same spot. Now that's bugging me. So I'm gonna switch it out. Hold on. Okay, but no, those are in the similar spot. Hold on, I think I have other variations. Oh, this will work. There's something about when the same fabric ends up in the same spot that just no. Or maybe this will be better. Oh, I think I like this one better. Okay, like so. That way we get more variation, right? Or am I being like super anal? Okay, so I'm gonna make sure these two sides are what I start with. So when I flip it over, have it like that. And even I, as a beginner too, I thought, oh my god, I can't bend my papers. I need to keep them flat. But I'll just say, I'm just gonna say it now. These are just papers, so just bend them. Make sure your hands comfortable sewing versus the paper being pristine, right? What's more important is that your hands comfortable as you're sewing. And this is just paper, so you can always bend it. And then I like to do 2 stitches in the first one to secure it. I'm gonna do another one. So you could do a knot automatically or just take the thread. Let me move a little bit. Twist it around, hold the thread that you twisted and pull it, and then you get a knot. So now it's secure in the right spot. You can even double check, make sure before you sew the whole length of that side, right? And then we got this. Oh, Sasa was saying turn them around. Okay, well, too late now. So I'll just keep on going. And then I'm just gonna sew these together. And remember last week we talked about glue basting too close to the edge. Now when you're sewing your pieces together, right sides together like this, if you had too much glue up to the edge, now is when you'll notice it being very hard to push your needle through because the glue is right there. But if you don't have glue all the way up to the edge, you'll notice it'll be a very smooth sewing experience as the needle is just going through the top of the fabric right above the paper. Oh yes, Charlotte, fold out paper, fold it out of the way, because I think a lot of us end up with hand cramps and then we do the death grip on the needle too, right? It's like, I'm gonna lose this needle, it's not going away from me, and then you end up with hand strain and your muscles are sore afterwards. So remind yourself, relax your hands. I was telling someone, do jazz hands in between, and this is what I mean by jazz hands. Woo! Shake them out a little bit. If you're feeling that you're starting to cramp, go a little shaky, and then you relax your hands and go back to sewing. Let's see. And then now I'm in the inside corner, and I'll make sure I'll do 2 stitches there too. And on the second, I'm gonna turn the thread around the needle twice to knot it to secure. So even if I keep on sewing and something happens midway with the second hexagon, it'll stop because I had a knot there in the corner. like so. Ooh, and we have Ross from Australia. Hello, welcome, welcome. See, now it's stuck, and I know it's in the right spot, and I can just keep on going. So now I'll just flip it a little bit and line up my 2 hexagons and fold the paper. And again here, I could do another double stitch and a knot just to be extra safe, secure. Why not, right? It's a good thing to make a habit out of, so you kind of don't think about it. It's like, oh, I'm in a corner or a junction, then I always make 2 stitches to secure my and the knot to secure my stitches, and then we keep on sewing. It's at a weird angle for me, so I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. And one thing I like about these hexagon diamonds, they come together real quick, don't they? Charlotte, I saw you made a whole bunch of blocks. They're so pretty. I saw them in the group. And oh, let's see. And Diane asked from Facebook, how do you do this without a thimble? It's not too bad, but I do know if I sew all day, then I usually end up getting a puncture in my finger if I push it with my tip of the finger like that, right? So I actually like to put tape, because me and thimbles, they don't really get along. My fingers don't like it, and then the thimbles, they never really fit, and then it feels very cumbersome. So I put a little bit of Nexus tape on my fingertips. So twice. I'll show you the tape before I go on the next scene. And I got these 2 sides sewn together. Silicone thimbles. Oh, they're nice too, I bet. I think I tried one from Clover, but I don't know where I put it. So this is the tape I use. It's, you can see here, Nexcare 3M tape. It's kind of foamy, so see how thick it is? And it's a little bit rubbery, so it gives a good grip when you have it on the tip of your finger. So what I do, I'll just take a little bit like that, and just cut off this much, and I just cut that in half, like so, and then I just put it right there. See the mark from the needle right there? You can see it already. Yeah, have a permanent hole in my finger right there, and I'll just put it right there. And sometimes I'll double up, and then I'll take the second one, and this is good for getting a grip on your needle. I'll just put it on my fingertip. So when I grab my needle, the tape has a little rubbery texture surface to it, so it kind of grips the needle, and this one will help me push the needle through. Let's see. Julie, do you want to share which silicone thimbles you use? I tried the Clover ones that come in 3 different sizes. If you have a preference or there's a particular brand that you like, please do share. And yes, you guys make sure to check out Charlotte's blocks. They're so pretty. She made a whole lot of them. Oh, see, yeah, and Janet's using a rubber finger on her index finger instead of a thimble. Yeah, I think thimbles, I don't know, they don't like to stay on. Yeah, either the size, I think it's hard to find a size that'll fit your fingertips sometimes too. It might be a little bit too tight or a little bit too loose, and then it just falls off. So I'm just gonna keep on going, and as you can see, as I'm sewing these hexagons together, I'll just bend my paper out of the way. So please don't strain your hands trying to hold it together at a weird angle. Just fold the paper. Oh yeah, and Zaza makes her own thimbles out of that, I don't know how to pronounce it. Chamois. Zaza, how do you pronounce it? That kind of like not leathery, but the material that you buff cars with, that really soft material. God, I gotta look up how to pronounce it. This is terrible. Chamois? Okay. I'll go with that. Ah, Deborah! Hello! We missed you! So good to see you on today. See, Wanda says, Wanda says to you, I've never been able to wear a thimble. Just feels awkward. Same here. Yeah, so Zaza cuts her chamois like those little leather dots. And that's how she uses it. So that's something you can do too. And then it's not a whole thimble that constricts or restricts your movement, because it's covering your whole fingertip, right? I think there's something about being able to feel what you're doing too helps. Second stitch in the corner, secure my thread. And then we got 3 seams sewn together, right? Let me just do this whole side since we're here. And anyone who's sewing along with me, let me know. And I'm just gonna keep on bending my papers as I go. I'd rather bend my papers than strain my hands. And this way I can sew for longer and make more projects. Corner, I'll make 2 stitches, secure it with a knot, and keep on going. And I'm using a size 11 milliner's needle by John James, and 60 weight bottom line thread. This one is it focusing? Alright, there we go. Superior threads, bottom line 60 weight in natural white. And I just use a single strand. It's quite strong, so I haven't had any issues so far. But if you do prefer double strand, that's fine too. It's all a matter of preference. Oops. There we go. And I can open it up to see what's going on. Very good. I like it. I keep on going. Just fold it over, bend the papers. And when your papers are bent like this, afterwards, if you press it, you can still reuse them. No problem. Oh, Nancy just made it. Hello. Let's see. Also, Julie. Oh, you got the Clover ones too. Awesome. Awesome sauce. So if you do go on the Clover website or even on Amazon, they'll have 3 sizes that you can check out. They do come in 3 sizes, right, Julie? I believe. Yeah, in different colors. And then oh, Catherine, yeah, I just shared. So I'm using this is 100% polyester. So if you prefer cotton thread, then I would recommend the Orifil 50 weight. That one's really nice too. Orifil 80 weight is really thin, and that one I try to do double. I tend to break that one more, but then 50 weight's really nice too if you prefer 100% cotton. And then if you don't mind using polyester, then this 60 weight's really nice. So I got this in natural white, and then I also have this for darker fabrics, and this one I have in taupe. I think I shared this before. Taupe, and I bought both just to compare. Taupe and oatmeal. Can you guys see the numbers? I'm gonna hold it up right there. And then on screen, I can tell one is a little more yellowish and one is a little more not yellowish. But I tried both on dark fabrics, black, and they both work really well. So if you want to use one universal thread for all your lights and darks, then, or one for your darks and one for your lights, then I would try either of these, and then one of the lighter colors. Let's put those away. And I did try this. It's silver as an in-between, but I actually like one of the taupes or the oatmeals for darker colors. It kind of blends in nicer. This one you still see the lighter thread on like black fabric, so I like the taupe or the oatmeal for black fabric. And where did I go? Let me get my needle. And so yeah, one thing you'll notice with the size 11 milliners, see how my needle is bent? I'm gonna put it there. See, can you see? Or on my hand probably. it has like a slight angle to it. I think it just comes from the heat or the pressure from your hands. But what's nice about it is that when you have the little curve, it kind of grips your fabric and goes up, so you don't grab too much of the fabric. And if you don't like bendy needles, then try the Clover black gold needles. They don't bend at all, but they're more stiff, so it's a different feel. So always experiment with your needles too, because there might be one that you like for a particular project and one that you like for some other projects, even if it's the same EPP type that you're doing. So I switch off between the Clover and these milliners. Let's see. Oh, so Diane likes the Orfil 80 weight. Oh, Sophia Carol, she uses silk thread. She loves silk. She uses silk thread, right? Or she experimented with silk thread. Who is it that uses silk thread all the time here? I know someone does, and they love it. So yeah, there's lots of different threads that you can play with. Let's see. And I just saw something about needle threader. Yes, the Clover one. Oh my god, it's like a lifesaver. This little gizmo. You can find it Amazon, Joann's has it, Michael's has it, Hobby Lobby has it. Just in the sewing area, sewing section where they have needle and thread. Oh, it's gonna be your best friend. Like, saves your sanity a lot of times. And we have, I thought I saw Wendy. Oh yes, hello Wendy. Oh, stitches per inch. I don't know, how many do I do? I think mine are about little in between 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch apart. So I think you don't need to really count your stitches. After you stitch a seam together, kind of pull it, see if you see the gap in between. If it gaps too much, you know it's too loose. So it might just be a matter of having to pull your project, the stitches as you're sewing them, versus the number of stitches. But granted, yeah, the less stitches you have, the looser your seam's gonna be, right? Let me count my stitches. I don't think I've counted them for a while. So first I'm gonna do the corner again, 1 stitch, and second I'm gonna secure it. And now let's see about roughly how many stitches I end up doing. Yeah, 1, 2, and you know, when I'm tired I end up doing more stitches. It looks like a satin stitch. 3. But that we want to avoid. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I could go to all the way to the corner and make 11. So about 10 to 12, about 11, 12 stitches per 1 inch hexagon side. And then if I do this and pull it, I can't see anything in between. So I know my stitches are tight enough and it'll hold together. So that's how one way you can double check. Then I'm gonna come to the last corner here. I'll just secure it again. And we'll be done with one side. And I'm gonna repeat again. Bend your papers out of the way so you're comfortable sewing these together. And if you feel your hand cramping, do some jazz hands, just like that. Stretch, and then contract like this in a fist and stretch, so you kind of get all your tendons in your hand relaxed. And then keep on sewing. Don't wait until you feel it cramping really bad, because then you've gone too far and it's gonna take longer for your hands to recuperate. And then we keep on going. How many blocks does everyone have made already? Or if you just started, do you have a few already decided on your colorway? Please do share in the comments. And I'm on my corner, so I'm gonna secure it with the knot. And now I can just trim that off. Like so. And as you're sewing more and more on here, it's gonna get bigger and bulkier, right? So let's say I'm gonna start removing my papers. So trivia, oops, see how this one's starting to pop out on its own? And then I can go remove. And these were some that I experimented with, just basting from a 2.5-inch square. I like it trimmed down. So I'll probably go back and trim these down so they look neat like this. But if you prefer this, if you're okay with it, then by all means. Ooh, Robin's made 24 blocks. Nancy laughingly saying none yet. That's okay. You'll be able to, you know, make a few in a jiffy. Oh, Robin started using Superior Kimono silk thread. Ooh, that's the one I said I wanted to order one just to try it out, right? Robin, which color did you end up getting? Let me write it down if you share. Kimono silk thread. That's the one I want to try, just to kind of get a feel for it. Catherine has 40 blocks done? Wow! Wow. I have to share it, see? Amazing! Also, Nancy and Lori, okay, you can catch up whenever you have time. Or you can always come back to this if you end up seeing like, oh, I'm sitting on a, you know, pile of basted hexagons. What do you want to make with it? Hexagon diamonds. Hello. So now I'm gonna take my little pick-me-up tool, or whatever tool your preference is, and then I'm just gonna start removing my papers. But what you want to avoid is any paper that's in an edge. All of these needs to stay in so you can add the next connecting block to it, right? So do not remove any papers that are towards the edge. You can remove anything in the center. So now that these two are connected, I can remove everything inside the border hexes. Okay. Right? Yeah, Ross. Yeah, as soon as it gets bigger, you might want to just start grouping them. I think it's easier if I show here. You might even start grouping them and doing. Let's use a pink pen. So right now I'm working on these two, right? So I might just sew these two together, sew these two together, sew these two together, and then come back and sew the joining stitch here in between, the stitch line in between those. So you're not sitting in with a big old bulk, and then you kind of know which order they're gonna go anyways, because you have your nifty coloring page to follow to keep you on track. Yes? Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and keep on removing my papers. So if you glue paste and you find it hard to remove your papers, that might mean that you use too much glue, or maybe it's the type of cardstock that you use too, right? If you cut your own at home. And I'm gonna show you a good example of what type of cardstock not to use. I don't know why I did this on this one, but I used this cardstock. See how it has color? If you press it, the color might transfer over to fabric. Let's say if it was a lighter fabric, that color might transfer over to the lighter fabric. So you want to avoid that. And I know Zaza used colored cardstock, and then the color from the cardstock transferred to the fabric too. So you want to try to stick to a lighter or neutral colored cardstock that has no print on it either. So that way, if some of the paper ends up stuck to your fabric, you don't get the dye from the paper itself to transfer over to the fabric pieces, because that would be sad, because you spent all this time, you know, making your blocks, and then you get color transferring over, and then that'll make you a little frustrated, I'm sure. Pop up. Let's see. Julie has 53 made. Holy moly. Oh, so Robin's using the kimono silk thread, and these are the two colors. Let me jot those down before I lose these. Number 377 and number 374. Are they two neutrals, Robin? Do you have a preference? Which one you like better? I'm gonna take that tape off because I'm bothering me. And then I'll just loosen it up. So yeah, if your papers are stuck and they won't come out, give it a press with the hot iron to warm up the glue a little bit. So that should make it easier for you to remove it. And then remember, we do not want to remove the papers in any of the edge hexagons, right? So I can remove these 6 in the center. And I keep my nails short, so that's what this little tool comes in handy, because you can just go right in between the fabric there and loosen it up. Oops. And if you're a thread baster, you could probably just pop your papers out. Unless you sew through your papers too, then you would need to snip the basting thread to get your papers out, right? And then sometimes I sew through the edge of the paper, and then you just carefully tear it out. And these are all papers you can use again. See how they look all bent and out of shape? Just give them a press and then you can use them. Ironing papers is so much fun. See? Loosen that up. It's so satisfying when it just like whoop, comes undone. Yay! And one more. And ideally, now that you remove the papers, see how the seam allowance is lifting a little bit again? Give it another press, and that way you just set those seam creases, and you won't have any problems with the seam allowance lifting as you're working on it. And let's flip this back. So now you can tell that these don't have papers because my dark desktop shows through, right? You can't really tell on the red because it's dark. But I got all the papers. Yes, I did. And then I could do my next set. So if I follow this one, I don't have another red, but let's say I take orange. Let's grab my orange one here. Then I could take the background one, background hexagon diamond. Oops, flippity flip. And put my next color. So I'm doing one set and second set and third set like that. You could work in diagonal lines. And then once I have these two sewn together, then I could come back and sew these like so, right? After removing the center paper, so it'd be lighter and not as bulky to work with. So it's a matter of choice what you prefer. I would probably just go keep on adding for one full row. I don't think I would mind. Yeah. But then I need 2 more reds if I'm gonna follow this. But let's just say I was doing it this way. Then I would just sew these two together and then come and connect them. But you could sew this one on there, remove the papers here in the center, come back and sew this one. So it's just a matter of preference. Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Let's scroll up here. Oh, Julie's using color cardstock, no problems yet. Yes, yeah. As long as you don't get it wet or moist, I guess, from pressing, I think you should be fine. And hopefully not on your lighter colors too. We'll cross our fingers for you. See? Nancy said, I use a neutral grayish color thread regardless of the fabric colors. Keeps it simple enough for me. Oh yeah, you can just keep with one color too if that's easier. So I mean, there's no set rules, so experiment, see what you like. I think that's what's so nice about any type of craft. You can learn from others, but then do what makes you happy. Yeah. Oh, and then Diane Hampton asked, did you say earlier you ironed the hexes as you made them or when sewn into a block? To be fair, as soon as I make some hexagons, Diane, I like to press them because, do I have some hexagons here? I like it when they look nice and crisp. Like these are just hexagons I made, and then I press them all. Because I like it when the seam allowance is nice and flat, and it just lays together like so. Like a little nice stack. But you don't have to press, but I think it's nice because you get the nice, really crisp seam, so that when you're sewing your hexagons together, it's I like it. Try it. If you haven't tried it, try it. Plus it doesn't take long. You just put a whole bunch out and then just press over it real quick. And then after I sew them together too, I like definitely press them here. After they're sewn together, I press it to make all my seam allowances lay flat and be set. Let's see. And Laura said, just looking at Amazon for silk thread, YLI and Clover have a lot of silk threads. No clue how well they work. I know someone tried the YLI one. Clover, I didn't even know they had silk thread. And the one Robin used was the Superior Thread silk thread, right? Oh, so I don't know. There's a lot of thread to experiment with. And Zaza says she presses both sides. Yeah, pressing's good. Oh, yeah, press them both sides. Yes. Especially since I think EP Pierce, we don't necessarily need to press our thread. I mean, press our fabric before we start basting. So like see how wrinkly this piece of fabric is? I would just cut out a piece and baste it, and as you baste it, it kind of gets flat, but once you give it a press after, it's nice and crisp. Let's see, did I miss anything else? Oh, so the 377 silk thread that Robin's been using has a great tint, and 374 is lighter. Oh, okay. Let me write that too. Gray. And this one's lighter. Okay. Oh, can't wait to order some to try it out. And Tony likes the 373. See, everyone has a different preference. I think, yeah, when you look at thread online too, the color might look different versus when you get it. So it might be good to even order a couple and then just return the ones that you don't like. So you can kind of compare if they are returnable. Like Amazon, it's easy to order a bunch of different colors, check out the ones you like, and return the ones you don't. Oh, okay, yeah. So Nancy uses cotton thread to baste and polyester to whip stitch pieces together. Awesome sauce. Yeah, if you're a thread baster, it's a good way to use up scrap thread that you're not necessarily using anymore when you're thread basting, right? No need to buy new thread for that. Oh, Julie likes the Gutenman cotton thread. Ooh, what weight is the cotton thread, Julie, for the Gutenman? Let's see. And Julie presses hers once her diamond is sewn together. It's a light parchment, so the 373 is a light parchment. I mean, look at that too. Take some scribbly notes here real quick. So we were talking about kimono silk thread in 373, 377, and 374. Those are the colors. So if you want to go browse them online. And let's see, let me scroll up, make sure I didn't miss anything. Dun, dun, dun. Ross, I hope that answered your question. Oh yes, okay, you got it. Awesome sauce. I see that further down. Oh yeah, okay, all cut up. So I like to press. Pressing makes me happy. So I could work on it this way now or just sew on the next one. I'm just gonna keep on adding this because maybe I want to add another few reds. I haven't decided yet. So this one's too short. Let me just grab a quick one. Quick piece of thread here. And we'll just see if I can get that through. Oh, bingo! Hello! The thread gods are with me today. Very nice. Okay. And now I want to make sure I match it up here instead of, I don't want to do this, right? Because then I'm going to be sad and have to whip out my seam ripper. I want them to meet. So I'm going to start here on the bottom, this one. And now this is much lighter because I got rid of all the center hexagon papers, right? So I'll line these up. Again, I'll just bend my papers out of the way. Get on it. Straight threads out of the way too. Come up in the corner, do one stitch and do a second, secure it with the knot, and then I can stitch up the side here. So key point is just bend your papers as you go. I think that's the main point for today. Don't try to keep your papers straight, just bend them into submission. Make them do what you want. And then we'll just sew this up here. And when I'm in the corner, second stitch and secure it. A corner or a junction, always secure your stitches. So even if something happens in the middle of your next seam, it'll stop right there. You won't have to redo a whole lot of stitching, right? And then we'll flip it over, match these two sides up, and bend my paper. And even here too, I'm just gonna make it a habit to secure and pull through and keep on stitching. Can you guys believe it's like last day of January today? Good grief. And I'm still not used to writing 2023 yet. I keep on writing 2022 and then I look at it and like something doesn't look right. And one corner stitch, one more right in the corner, and I'm gonna secure it. And so I got those connected already. And I'll just go up the side here. And once I'm done with this side, I can remove all these in the center here, right? Oh, so yeah, Wendy, she'll even clip them with the binding clip to keep them out of the way. Yeah, that's a way to do it too. Oops, make sure I'm on screen here. Secure it. So if you haven't signed up for the quilt along yet, it's free to join and you can just go on my website, and when you do, you won't see anything about the quilt along there, but wait 5 seconds and there'll be a little pop-up on your left asking you, hey, you want to join the quilt along, and then you can sign up right there. So it's secret. Not really, but let's see. And then I come up in the corner, second stitch in the corner, and secure it like so. And I just keep on going up and down, up and down. So it's like a ziggy-zaggy, right? And as I go, I just bend my papers. One popped out. I do one more in the corner and secure it. Just have to tell you guys, it's been so fun to see everyone's different versions of their hexagon diamonds. Like all that variety of fabrics and prints and colors, it's so awesome. And I can't wait to see you guys start to sew your blocks together. Woo. Let's see, what did I miss? Can we chat later? I don't think that was for me, right, Tony? Oh, Tony and Nancy. Okay, is the quote along for the project to be named later? Yes, we will have that one starting in February. So I'll be sure to send out a email to everybody so you guys can get ready for it. So yesterday and today I sat down and calculated fabric requirements, etc., and I'm working on maybe even getting some kits ready. I'm trying to find out if some fabric shops, if they'll be able to put it together, so we'll see. But I need to just make up the mock-ups so you guys can kind of see what it would look like with those fabrics that would be in the kit. And I'm still working on my Shopify site. It's coming along. It's coming along. Yes, yes. I'm gonna pat myself on the shoulder for braving it, moving over my shop from Etsy to Shopify. I'll still have my Etsy shop open, but as I'm slowly migrating things over to my Shopify site. It's gonna take me probably a few months, but I'll move some things over at a time. And I'll keep you all updated too. And because there'll be more perks involved with the Shopify site that I had no control over on the Etsy site. So that's exciting. Let's see, secure. Oops. Hello. Twist, twist. Oh, I got a knot on there. Oh no, I didn't. I just need to pull it through. Hold on one second. Like that. So, okay. Then we'll keep on going. And I'm almost done with this side. And I'm almost in the corner. I'm gonna do a second stitch in the corner again, secured with the knot. Zoop. And I just come to this side here. Exciting. See how fast this one comes together? It's fun. Okay. Just come up this side here. I'm gonna finish this seam, and then if there's any questions, I'll look at those. Let's see. Corner. Take a second stitch again. Secure. And now on my last seam here. Yay! Exciting! Okay. See. Deborah, you're still here? Have you made any hexagon diamond blocks too? I don't think I've seen you share anything yet, right? And I come up here. And I'm gonna secure with the knot. Zoop. And I can just trim it off. Ta-da! And now it's together. So let's flip it over. And I can remove all these, right? This one, this one, this one. Right? And then your whole project will become so much lighter because all these papers are gone. so. Lift that up, remove, put it back into place. And sometimes you hear that little ripping sound. That's because I sewed through the paper. I was overly enthusiastic sewing my pieces together, but you just want to hold the fabric so you don't tear this seam, the stitching, and just carefully remove the paper if you do. No problem. And notice how I like to fold back the seam allowance just so it'll lay flat. That'll make it easier too when you go to press these again, right? You don't have to fix up like a whole bunch of hexagons. You just do it as you go, then it's much easier. Or any other shape too. So, and two more. Oh, this one I used a lot of glue, I can tell already. Just hold the fabric and remove. So, and that's it. And then I can flip and see it's much lighter, and you'll notice it too when you're making yours, that once you remove some of the connecting papers. Oh, hello toy, I can remove this one too. I almost missed it. Oops, wrong side. And then your project will be much easier to work with because it's not as bulky or stiff, right? Because all the papers are in there. So at this point, I would definitely give it a press just to set my seam allowances again, the creases, and make sure the seam allowance doesn't lift up like so, like that. You don't want this, right? You want it to lay nice and flat. So I would definitely give it a press before I continue adding more hexagon diamonds on. So you could do it this way and continue adding on, or like I showed here, do them in pairs if that's easier for you. So always experiment, and that also depends on which size hexagons you're using. For the little one, like these 1/2 inch, you could definitely keep it all and just keep on adding, right? Because it's much smaller. And if you're doing, let's say, the 1.5 inch hexagons, then I would definitely probably go this option because it's so big to, you know, work with. Those are my tips and tricks. And if you have any other ideas too, or if you tried experimenting with a different way, make sure you join the Facebook group so you can come and share with us, so that we all have that wisdom from everybody in the group making these blocks, right? Always helps. And let's see, did I miss any questions? Let me know. Oh, Nancy, if you for some reason can't find a message from, let's say, Tony, right? You're trying to connect with Tony. Look in your other messages on your Facebook messengers, and then that's where you'll see messages from people that are not your friends that have requested to message you. And then once you give them permission one time, then you can keep on chatting, even whether you're officially friends on Facebook or not. Let's see. Let's see if I missed anything. Marilyn, yes, it makes all the difference, because yeah, you don't want to keep on sewing this whole seam, and then let's say something breaks in the middle here, and then everything just comes undone, right? Because nothing's secured anywhere. So it's a good habit just to, anytime you come to a corner or a junction in your EPP, just to make a little knot there, and that way you don't, you know, have to deal with lots of restitching if something happens in between. Let's see. Yes, 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 yes. I love to, yeah. And even hexagon flowers, also all my petal hexagons on first before I do the side stitches that connect them. That way I know too, I won't mess up the order if there's a particular order that I want the hexagon flowers to be made in. Oh, Diane, this is called a pick-me-up. So it looks like this. Pick-me-up, that's the name of it. Yep, there we go. And it's by Silhouette Studio. So it's a tool for removing papers from your or working with paper crafting, but it works really well for EPP too. So it has two ends. One's like a stylus, and the other one looks like a cuticle pusher. It has a slight angle to it, which is what I like, because it just slides under the paper, right? And the fabric. And then it has two ends. You can put it in, flip it, and put the other end in. Or just work with this if that's easier for you. So you can find this on Amazon, carries it. Craft stores carry it. So if you're close to a Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby, you might even go there, check it out. Or Amazon if you like to shop from home, like I do. Let's see. Julie asked, the very edges, will they be straight or you keep them uneven? I'm actually gonna do my half, or like this is like a quarter hexagon there, right? But I'm gonna cut them down so they all have straight edges. That's for me. You could keep them uneven if you want, but I'm just gonna do a straight edge on mine. And last week we talked about cutting your hexagons in half so you have the half hexagon blocks. I mean half hexagon pieces to go in between here, so you don't have to waste fabric making a full hexagon and then cutting it down in the end. And then I showed you last week how easy it is just to take a hexagon paper. Let's see if I have any hexagons here. Let's see. Like, I always have hexagon papers. Where are they? Well, let me just show on this one. So if you have this one, we're gonna have the half hexagons here on the edge, right? So you would just take a ruler and cut in half. So that way you get two hexagons and you don't have all this extra fabric that you end up tossing because you're trimming your hexagons after. So these will go right there, like this hexagon there. So they're easy to cut, and then you get a straight edge. Ta-da! And that's it. And so if you want to see how I did it, just go back to last week's live and then you can catch it there. And I think that was it for today, right? Yeah, we're just showing how to sew the blocks together and how to remove the papers. But if you're working on making way more hexagon diamonds and you're still not at this step, then you're still totally okay. Just work at your own pace, and you always have this coloring sheet to refer to, or the replays of these videos that can help you with your progress. And then also, if you're in the Facebook group, hint hint, you can always ask the rest of us how we did ours, or see everyone's progress by searching with the hashtag inside the group, hashtag hexagon diamond. Then you'll see everybody's posts come up that they've been sharing with the hashtag, and you can see tips and tricks there too. Ooh, yes. And then if you join the group, you'll be able to see Julie's fabulous layout. She's been like doing this crazy big old layout, and she's doing triangle borders with you're doing the squares in the corners, right? Oh, it's gonna be so amazing. I can't wait to see. Julie, keep on working on it. Don't do anything else. And then I think that's it. Do we have any other questions for today? I think I covered everything. Dun-dun. Yeah, leave that there if you guys need tip. Doop. Let me know. Let's see. Oh, Nancy, yes, I keep on sending out reminders too, so make sure you download those as well. And let's see here. Let me scroll up a little bit. Oh, okay, I think I got everything. Awesome sauce. And so I'll see you guys next Tuesday. Is February what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next Tuesday is the 7th, February 7th. Dun dun dun. And I'm gonna send an email out so you guys can get the fabric requirements for the next sew along, and I'll show you some mock-ups of different fabrics. I'll see you in emails, or I'll see you in the Facebook group, the EPP Society on Facebook. So until next week, have fun making your hexagon diamonds. I'll see you then. Bye.